Hello, hello. Amira Alvarez here, founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. And today we are talking about keeping your word, building trust with yourself, and creating structures for sanity. I think this is really important right now, this very time, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now. There's a lot of upheaval, there's a lot of change, and it's bigger than normal. But all the things that I will be sharing today are strategies that you can use for yourself right now in this time, but are also great strategies just in general for running a business. So on the bootcamp call that I had with my clients today, this is the Business Acceleration Bootcamp, a lot of them were asking me questions about how to stay focused. And they were feeling this uptick in a lack of focus because of the COVID situation. And granted, that happens. That is happening right now, but it also is the thing that happens in general for entrepreneurs, this lack of focus. They know what they want to do, they have a ton of ideas, but it's very challenging to know what to do first and what to prioritize and all of that. So how to create focus, and let's back up. I'm going to give you a bunch of strategies for creating focus and showing up for yourself in your business in a very focused way, but so that you get the right things done in the timeline that you want, because it is so important to achieving your goals. Now, but first, before we get into that, let's talk about what's causing the lack of focus to begin with. And the first thing that you want to know is that your subconscious mind, you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is very much driven by keeping you alive. That's its directive. It wants you to stay alive. It is very black and white about that. It's either life or death for the subconscious. And anything that you have survived up until now, your subconscious mind doesn't care if it's a productive or efficient habit or way of being. It knows that you're not going to die if you're scattered. You're not going to die if you're in the midst of chaos and trying to juggle too many things, if you have done that before. So many entrepreneurs have a real love for juggling a gazillion different things, having a lot going on, and they thrive in that until you go over the edge and it feels untenable anymore. But your subconscious doesn't know that that's not the way that you want to work, or that doesn't feel good for you. It doesn't care about whether it feels good or not. It's only concerned with whether it's survivable for you, because if it's survivable for you, you will live. So you have this unconscious or subconscious belief that is driving how you are interpreting all your experiences, all the events in your life, all the ideas that come to you, all the requests from other people, all the outside news stories, the things in your business, the stuff that your team is asking you to do, all of this outside input that's coming in through your senses. Your subconscious is the filter for that, and is telling you how to interpret it and what to do with it. And if it knows that you will survive being scattered, that is a survivable way of being, it will run that program. Now, this is particularly at play because with the COVID-19 situation right now, even if on the surface you feel like you're managing your news intake well and all the stuff that's going on well, it's hitting your subconscious, and your subconscious, again, reiterating this point, is only concerned with you surviving. So it's getting all this input and it thinks you might not survive. So it's going to run the program that it knows that in the past has been survivable, which might be being scattered, juggling too many things, trying to do too many things at once. So just keep that in mind. If this is something that in some ways you've thrived on in the past and is now sending you over a limit, recognize that that's just a pattern, a program that's being run. But you do have to take a new action to counter that. And this comes with managing yourself in relationship with time. So I like to call this self-management, not time management, because there's no such thing as managing time. Time happens whether you're there or not, okay? So, well, you can make an argument that our perception of it is what creates it. But it's going to tick by whether you're managing it or not, okay? The only thing that you have control over is managing yourself. So what you need to do, and this is the thing that I teach in the boot camp, is that you want to put everything that's on your mind, all those swirling thoughts, all the big projects, all the little projects, the minutia, and the oh my God, I need to get that done because of the deadlines, all of that. You want to put it down on a big piece of paper. I use my trusty yellow pad. I love it. This is my favorite pen. And it's just a giant brain dump. And you get it all out. Small stuff, large stuff. And then you organize your calendar. And I love my Google Calendar for this. And I slot it into the different times. Okay, I got off doing this for a while. I had a different system previously. But this is what I'm using right now, and I just love it. So I have my different categories of types of work slotted on times on my calendar, color-coded, because I like it to be pretty and easy to understand what's going on as well. And then I slot all the stuff I've just done in my brain dump with, I put it on my calendar in the different times, in the descriptions. And then I really notice if I've overloaded myself. Am I trying to do too much in that time? Am I setting myself up for failure? Do I need to push it out? Right? Like, you make some course corrections and adjustments, because the next thing is you have to keep your word to yourself about what you're doing at every time on your calendar. And you have to build trust with yourself that you'll do that at the time that you've put down. Now, this is something that I have been challenged with for years. I'm great in certain places and not in other places. And I think it's a muscle that you build. So, of course, there's course corrections. Of course, there are things that come up. But how can you build basis that says, I'm going to do it in this time. I'm not going to let it take longer than it needs to. I'm not going to come up with excuses for why I couldn't do that now and something else was more pressing, and keep your word to yourself. I have a program, it's a free thing that I do called the Commitment Challenge, and it's along the same lines. When you say you're going to do something and you keep that commitment no matter what for 30 days, you build trust in yourself. You start feeling good about yourself because you've done what you've said you're going to do, and it's so important. So, to reiterate, from the beginning, your subconscious mind is only driven by keeping you alive. Right now, it's getting a lot of input about, holy shit, what's happening? You might die. So it's running the program of what you've survived before. If you have survived being scattered, overloaded, putting too many things on your calendar, feeling like you can't get enough done, feeling overwhelmed, feeling spun out, but it knows that actually you survived all of that, it will run that program again and cause you to go into that even though it doesn't feel good. The strategy, the tactic to change that is to make a conscious decision to clarify how you're using your time and then stick to that, be good to your word, and create a structure that's sane. And if you have too much to do in the time that you have, you either have to sacrifice what you're doing or get help to do it. Those are the only two options that you have there. Otherwise, you're gonna bust a stress valve. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but it's gonna be too stressful for you. So right now, take action on this. Do the brain dump that I mentioned. Get it all out on paper. Take some time. Take the hour it's gonna take, the half an hour it's gonna take to organize yourself, and then keep your word to your schedule. It'll feel so amazing, and you'll feel like you have a grounded, centered self, and you'll feel structured, and you won't be as apt to spin out with and be reactive to everything that's coming inside your world. Okay, with that, rock it out, be unstoppable, have an awesome, oh wait, hold on, don't go. I have a little post-it note here that says, The Unstoppable Woman Podcast. We are launching it on Thursday. Please look for that and help us out, subscribe on iTunes, and give us a review and a 5-star rating, and listen to the episodes because they're really freaking kick-ass. Okay, that's it. Now, rock it out. Be unstoppable. Take care. Bye-bye.